Hi, and welcome to this video on truth, worthiness, and professional presentation skills. I'm John Arpsjö, author of the book Successful Selling and Professional Presentation Skills that you can find on Amazon Kindle version. I've been teaching and coaching on management level for more than 30 years in the field of communication and leadership. I worked for companies like GlaxoSmithKline, GE Healthcare, Volvo, IBM, and also for the Swedish government. In this video, I will focus on 3 different levels of communication that have a strong implication on presentation skills. It's the everyday level, the presentation level, and the theater level. We do communicate in different ways depending on which level we strive to be on. So let's start with the common everyday level of communication. On the everyday level, we are both private and personal. That is, we talk about private things and we show ourselves. We discuss things that are of more or less intimate concern to us. The language we use and the concepts we use are not necessarily that well defined, and it's all right. We move more or less freely from subject to subject. Structure is not that important. We change directions depending on who we speak to. We can be interrupted and we change again. Body language, that is gestures, the way we move and stand, reveals maybe more about our personality than the other 2 levels. On this level, it is all right to say half sentences, use general sweeping concepts, and jump around among different subjects. Communication on this level is not seldom about emotions and confirmations, and of course, an exchange of ideas. On this level, we establish relationships. At the end of a nice day, and at the end of a nice evening with our friends, we end up with a subject we did not even know where it came from, or maybe we not even know why we discussed it. But we had a nice evening, full of discussions. And that's what friends are for. The second level, the presentation level. Now, communication on presentation level is different. Here we don't talk in general. We don't jump around in the field of ideas. We have to be specific. We have to have a goal, implicit or explicit, but there must be a goal. We have to use well-defined words and concepts. There must be some kind of logic, a line the listeners can follow. On this level, we're not private with our listeners. We don't display things that are private. The private part of us we must leave out. But to be personal is a gift. It is a lot easier to listen to a personality than a formal, impersonal speaking. I must, though, underline that being formal is important when necessary. There is sometimes an intricate balance between the formal and the personal. Sometimes it is important to take on a formal attitude, and at other times it will heavily shadow the very purpose of the presentation. So on the presentation level, you're specific. The concepts are well defined and there is a clear purpose and goal with the presentation. And you're more or less personal. Concerning the non-verbal communication, that is body language, there must be an evident and clear correspondence between what you say and what you do. the movements of your head, the way you stand and move around, and of course, your gestures. I will talk more about nonverbal communication, body language, in an upcoming book and video. The third level is the theater level. The level where you act, where you play someone you're not. Here, you try to fulfill a character. You try to be the manager, the smart guy, the intellectual, the boss, or whatever. When acting, then I talk about real acting, things actors do. You pick up the most fundamental characteristics in a character and make the acting, the thinking, and the being internal logical. On the non-verbal level, body language, when you act, you have to find gestures and ways of moving that emphasizes the character you are playing. The language is there to help carve the character. Language and the way you use your body reactions and movements must be truthful to the character you are playing. But it is still playing. It is not you. You use, of course, parts of yourself, but it's still acting. In this way, you play someone you're not. Actors are trained to do this very well. It is their profession. But when you make a presentation and you act in this sense, when you try to be someone you're not, people will hesitate, feel unsure about you, and even reject you. To be honest is fundamental. Honesty is all. If people sense the slightest that you try to be someone you're not, they will probably stop listening to you. And this one is important, an uncertain audience does not want to make a close with you. Credibility is mandatory. It is so important. To be truthful is the golden rule of presentations. If I'm the CEO, the project leader, or the CFO of the company, I don't have to act, only be clear in my function. And this is not acting. This is all about being clear, nothing else. To narrow the interpretations, people must understand clearly the situation and your function. So the take-home message is, never act. Never try to be someone you're not. Be honest and be yourself. Honesty is the safest path to success in the long run. Now, if you want to learn more, read my book, Successful Selling and Professional Presentation Skills, that you can find on Amazon Kindle. Read a book on your iPad, your smartphone, and of course on your Kindle. You can find more videos on tiro.com. Thank you for now.